Better wait until you hear me. My name is Claude Richards.
Closer.
Claude Richards. And I want to thank you for taking time out to come and understand the issues and understand the candidates. I want to paint a little picture for you, a picture that I arrived at after taking a law degree, practicing law for a period of time, and 18 years in the county assessor's office. And the picture is a continuum. Every government is on this continuum. Over here on this side, we have a totalitarian government in which the people are not citizens, they are subjects. Over on this side, we have anarchy in which there is no government. It's also a problem. Orem City is a government, and it's on that line somewhere, okay? The problem is that all governments want to move in this direction. They all want to grow. They can't help it. It's just their nature, okay? And it would be fine, except that when governments grow, they need more money and they need more regulations. It's just the way governments are, okay? Now, I'm going to talk about some things here, and I want you to understand I'm only talking about principles. I'm not talking about people, okay? I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I think the people that we work with and the citizens of Orem are all doing what they're doing with the best of intents, okay? But there are unanticipated consequences to the decisions that we make, and we need to try to understand those unanticipated consequences, okay? So when we pass laws, things happen that we didn't expect, okay? So as these governments grow, and they need more money, and they up the taxes, and they up the fees and whatnot, they come to a point where they get embarrassed by those taxes. And you can tell they're embarrassed because they start saying things like, you know what? We're not going to be able to get businesses into Orem unless we give them an incentive, a special deal. Okay, that's a sign that they are embarrassed about the tax rate. The problem that we get into is when we start giving people incentives over here, but not over here, our government is no longer blind. We represent justice as a woman with a blindfold. And she's holding scales in her hand and a sword in the other hand. The reason she's blindfolded is she's not supposed to know who the players are. Okay? She's supposed to make the decision on the merits here. When she's done deciding on the merits, she's going to take that sword and enforce her decision. We put this symbol in front of our courthouses, expecting our court system to be just. But the problem is the court is enforcing the laws that are made by the legislative councils. And if those councils are not blind, then the courts can no longer be blind, okay? So having said that, what happens is when we give an incentive to one without the other, sooner or later, this person begins to say, whoa, I'm not being treated equally, okay? And then the government, in order to keep pursuing that course, has to come back and say, you know what? The citizens aren't going to like this, so we're going to have to put our people under some kind of a non-disclosure agreement. We don't want to tell them what's going on. And all of a sudden, our transparency is gone. Okay? So I'm just here to give you an opportunity for a choice. From where we are in Orem, if you want to go in this direction, if you're okay with having more taxes and fees and regulations, if you're okay with going to the federal government, asking for more money from a bankrupt government, and running the risk of bringing federal strings in, if you're okay with giving special deals, and you're okay with having having non-disclosures and less transparency, and if you're okay letting people make decisions on tens of millions of dollars, then go ahead and vote for whoever. Okay? If, on the other hand, you'd like to see the government stay at current levels or even back off a little bit, and some of you have said back off a little bit, I'd like to back off a bunch. If you're okay with the idea of let's not have new taxes because the tax system raises itself, if you're okay with treating all of the citizens equally, if you're okay with full transparency, if you're okay with having a vote on these major things like Utopia and BRT, then I am Claude Richards and I would appreciate respectfully your vote. Thank you very much.